What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today we're reviewing Avengers Infinity War. This one came out in 2018 and was of course directed by the Russo brothers and stars Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Chris Evans as Captain America. Now before we start, hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can get notified for every video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So of course all the actors and actresses in this film, they're all fantastic. I'm obviously not going to list all of them because you have like a million characters inside of this film. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but this film is packed with a lot of subplots, different plot lines, a whole bunch of characters, villains, and it manages to give each of the characters their own storyline and make it so that it's that's unexpected. You think something's going to happen, but something completely different happens in this film, and that's what I really loved about this film. Thanos is easily in my top 3 MCU villains of all time, just because what he thinks he's doing, he thinks is the right thing, and that itself is terrifying because he wants to kill half the population so that the other half could thrive. And while that seems like okay to him, it is terrifying. That his whole agenda and his plot, his plan is terrifying. Thor, I think, is really good in this film. Of course, he's not one of the, there are a whole bunch of characters in here, but Thor in particular gets his own moment in this film, as well as Rocket and Groot, and I think it was just fantastic. That sequence in the third act of the film, the final battle, when you think everything, you think the Avengers are going to lose, Thanos' army is taking over the Avengers, defeating them, and then out of nowhere, Thor, Groot, and Rocket are sent by the Bifrost, and they enter Wakanda, and that sequence is one of the best sequences in the entire MCU, one of the best character entrances in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, and one of the best character entrances that I have ever seen in any film. The sequences in this film, there are a lot of hilarious sequences that are placed very well in this film. When there are heartbreaking sequences, obviously no comedy. Russo brothers does a great job with the comedy in this film. They know where to put it. There are a lot of sequences with, of course, Tony Stark and Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy that are hilarious sequences, but when things are getting like, when tension starts being built, there's no comedy, and that's what I really loved about this film. Because there's a lot of tension in this film, especially in that third act of the film, in the final battle, as well as one other sequence, the Vormir sequence with the Soul Stone. That sequence is tense. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if Thanos is actually going to sacrifice his daughter Gamora. So that sequence, and also in that sequence, you see Thanos for the first time cry. And I really love that it gives him that extra depth to his character, that he knows what he's doing is wrong, and for him at least, he knows that he's going to have to make sacrifices in order to complete his journey. So he sacrifices his daughter Gamora, and that sequence is heartbreaking, and it works for the film. Another character, Iron Man. Iron Man is, of course, in my opinion, he is the second, probably first best character in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. He has a major moment in this film where he supposedly almost dies, but he doesn't. And then, in turn, he sees of course, Peter Parker fade away, and that sequence is very emotional, And that entire ending sequence is one of the most emotional sequences out of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, because this is the first time that, well, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that the villain wins and the heroes lose. So I love that ending sequence because it really shows that not every movie has a happy ending, and this film is a great example of that. That's about it. There's nothing bad about this film. Avengers Infinity War is definitely one of the best films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's one of the best first acts of a conclusion, and I highly recommend it. Now I'm going to give Avengers Infinity War an A. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you can get notified for every video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.